Well, I'm sitting here with two of the most expensive phones that you can buy. Probably the two most expensive you can get in the US, the S22 Ultra, also affectionately known as the Note 22 Ultra, and the Fold 4. So these two phones right here, the best that you can get in the Android world from Samsung, they offer a lot. But you might be sitting there going, should I buy the Fold 4 or should I buy the S22 Ultra? Because, well, that's a very fair question, because if you're looking at these phones, you're likely looking at something. You want high performance, you want all-day battery life, you want multitasking capabilities, you want staying power, and you want something that really looks nice and is built well. You get all of those things with both of these phones, so I'm glad I could help make your decision easier, right? Anyway, so what you're looking at when it comes to the S22 Ultra, this is a big single-screen phone, and there are benefits here because, well, what do you want? When you pull your phone out of your pocket, do you always want to look at this big, beautiful 6.8-inch screen, or do you want to pull out and look at this little 6.2-inch screen that happens to open up and give you a 7.6-inch screen? So that's kind of it. Do you want something that gives you the two-in-one capability, kind of like when you're carrying around maybe like a Lenovo Yoga laptop? You get two-in-one convertible. You use it like as a tablet. You can also use it as a computer. That's what you get here. When it comes around to the Fold 4, you get the ability to quick glance and do some easy things on the front of the screen, but then you can open it up for some serious business and use the much larger screen. So that's kind of the whole thing. Do you want a big, beautiful, wider screen all the time, or do you want the capability to use a smaller screen or a bigger screen? And some people may not look at that and go, well, that's no big deal. I'll just use the big one all the time. However, this is something that you'll find when you use the Fold is, yes, you will find yourself using this a lot more than you find yourself using this in a lot of situations, because you don't feel like opening your phone to do this all the time and basically requires two hands. It's something that when you look at it, you watch a video, you go, oh, this is nice. I can use the outside screen. I can use the inside screen. That's really cool. Here's what I find myself doing most of the time. Stuck looking at the front screen because I pull it out and then it's just convenient because it's right there. So with the S22 Ultra, this is really nice. I'm not saying the Fold 4 is not really nice, but when you have this, you got a Snapdragon 8 Generation 1, which I will say, I do find that even though it's been a couple of days, I'm getting better battery life with less battery on the Fold 4, which would surprise you. But the Snapdragon 8 Generation 1, which is in the S22 Ultra, very powerful, very, very similar chip, not as good on battery management. It's not as good with power efficiency, and that's something they really focused on with the Fold. So even though you've got a 5,000 milliamp battery in the S22 Ultra, and you have a 4,400 milliamp battery over here, what you see in your day-to-day activity is probably going to be pretty similar. So I can get about 6 hours screen on time out of both of them, which is pretty darn good for any phone of this caliber with this amount of power. If you want a better camera setup, this is your guy or your gal. The S22 Ultra, you've got the 108 megapixel camera. You've got 4 cameras back here. So you have you got the 108 megapixel camera. You get a 100 times zoom, which is really, really cool. You also get the periscope telephoto lens, which is 10 megapixels. You get a 10 megapixel actual, telephoto, and then you get a 12 megapixel ultra wide. So a full complement of stuff back here. You're going to get the best picture and video experience possible with this phone. And then you're going to get the better selfie on the front end because it has a 40 megapixel camera instead of the several-year-old now 10 megapixel camera on the front of the Fold 4. And yes, the Fold 4 does have an under-the-screen camera right up here, which is kind of hard to see, but you have a 4 megapixel camera up there underneath the screen. Not the greatest in the world. It's okay for things like Zoom and for Microsoft Teams and stuff like that, but it's really nothing to write home about. If you want the best when it comes to the multimedia experience, you're going to get it here. And you're also going to get the more expanded S Pen functionality because this is an actual fully fledged S Pen. You get the air gestures for the motion gesture stuff, and then you can also press and hold the button. You can activate the camera. You can take pictures with it. You can double tap and flip it around to the other side. So there's a lot of neat stuff you can do with that. You don't get all that expanded functionality with the S Pen on the Fold 4, which is an afterthought. It's on the outside. It's not inside the device. However, it is color coordinated if you get it, and if you buy it, you got to pay extra. This case that came with the S Pen is $89, so you're looking at a $17.99 phone plus an extra basically $100. That puts you about $2,000 for this package, and then it's $11.99. So there is a significant price difference there. However, if you have something to trade in, Samsung can give you some pretty favorable trade-in stuff. For instance, they were basically giving about $1,000 trade-in credit if you had the previous Fold 3, you had the previous S21 Ultra. And that's another thing. So if you're coming from the Fold 3, you already know whether you want to continue using the Fold form factor or if you want the bigger all the time that you get with the S22 Ultra. Also, I would argue the main reasons for buying the S22 Ultra are you want a big screen all the time, you want better cameras, and then you also want the better S Pen, and also you want to pay less money. Those are really kind of the things here, because when it comes to a static form factor like this, when it comes to the S22 Ultra, they've got this form factor nailed down. This has been something they've been doing for a long time. They know how to jam everything in here. They know how to make a super high-end premium phone. And they did that here. Of course, the Fold 4 is super high premium, all that good stuff too, but you don't have to balance anything. It's not, hey, we got to put this hinge in here. Hey, we need to find a way to still make it IPX8 even with the hinge. Of course, there's no dust resistance, so that's something to worry about as well. Also, there's a lot of give and take when it comes to the Fold 4, whereas there's not a whole lot of give and take here. You just get the best that Samsung can make all up front, all right here, all the time. And there's something to be said for that. And I think this is better for gaming too. Yes, it's nice to have this big screen on the Fold 4, but when you hold this in your hands, also it's got the ultra thin glass. It does have a little bit more plasticky feel to it. I feel like gaming on the S22 Ultra is a better overall experience. It's more ergonomic. It fits in a lot of those controller apparatuses that you can get. So yes, I think for most people, probably the S22 Ultra is probably going to be the better buy, probably something more people are going to gravitate towards too. Also, you don't have to worry about there being a crease in the screen. You don't have to worry about it breaking on you. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff because it doesn't do that. But then there's the argument for the Fold. It's cool. It's definitely a conversation starter. They did update the camera, so the cameras are better on here. This is the best screen they've had yet. Yes, the crease is still there, but it's not as bad as it was with the Fold 3. Then you also, you get the cool under the screen camera. You can show that off to your friends. You get this big landscape all the time. You get a lot more multitasking. Yes, you can do split window stuff with the S22 Ultra, but I argue split screen on this is really not a very enjoyable endeavor. Whereas it's so simple, so you pull up Twitter, you've got the little taskbar down here. You want to pull up the Internet Explorer, you drag it over here. Instantly, you've got two screens that you can work with. Or hey, you want to open up a third one? Drag it down there to the bottom, and then you got a third one. You can do a lot of stuff, but then also you just get this great big screen all the time. So if you want to watch media, if you want to watch YouTube, if you want to do some multitasking, there's a lot of cool applications for this. And then you also get the convenience of using the front screen, which of course is going to save you battery because it's not as big as the big screen, but it's also not as big as the screen on the S22 Ultra. So there's some consideration, some give and take. Also, yes, again, it comes down to price, and the S22 Ultra is a little bit older. As we get closer to the end of the year, Samsung has been doing a lot of insane trade-in deals, a lot of specials to try and get these in people's hands. I would argue the S22 Ultra is the best Samsung phone they've ever made. I love this phone. It's great, built from the ground up, very, very thoughtful, very, very efficient, very powerful, very nice looking, and it's easy to protect. You can get much cheaper cases for it. And there's a lot of stuff to be said for the traditional phone form factor, but you don't get the cool factor you get with this. So if you want cool factor, if you want to have something where you can use it's like the party in the front, the business in the back. It's the mullet of phones, except I guess they're making a comeback, really, so maybe that's not an insult. You get the exterior screen, then you get the front screen, the inside screen. So there's some cool stuff here. Hardware, I mean, shoot. Yes, entry level, 8 gigabytes of RAM with this, but I argue it's not that big of a deal. Still, you can get 128 and 8 with this, which is really not very desirable for a productivity, powerful phone. You want more than that, especially if you're going to be shooting a lot of video and a lot of camera stuff. And then the apps are getting pretty big nowadays too. So you get 12 and 16 gigs of RAM in this. Also, when it comes to the Fold, it starts with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Generation 1, which is a better, more powerful, more power-efficient chip than you get with the S22 Ultra, but they're only about 6 months removed. So really, the experience is going to be about the same because the extra battery savings you get is made up for by the extra battery size, 4,400 versus 5,000 milliamps. So this right here, hopefully it gave you some consideration as I'm going back and forth here. As somebody who's used all the Folds, I've used the Fold 1, Fold 2, Fold 3, Fold 4, and I've been using Samsung phones for absolutely forever. The great thing about Samsung is they give you a little bit of both for each audience. Like if you want to try something new, cutting edge, the latest and greatest, they give you that. But they also give you something with the tried and true, but still no slouch, top notch, possible, like everything they could throw in this phone. So I like both of them for different reasons. If I were to buy only one of them, honestly for me, it would probably be the S22 Ultra because I like having this big screen all the time. And I'm going to be honest with you, I spend way too much time using the exterior screen because I just don't, I'm busy, I'm doing stuff, I'm on the go. It's not always convenient for me to open the screen up. But then you have some people that say, look, opening the screen up is second nature. I do it as soon as I reach for my phone. So if you're going to go prime time all the time, then you may find yourself in that position with the Fold 4. Whereas I just like to pull my phone out, get straight to doing what I need to do, and then have this big, beautiful screen all the time to look at. It's nice, it's wide, the haptic feedback's amazing. There's so many nice things about both of them. You're probably not going to buy both of them. And that's something that I feel like I thought would add value in this video because I can say, look, I've got both, I've used both, I've been using both of these styles of phones for a long time. There are pros and cons to both. Of course, the biggest one being about a $600-700 price gap in between these two designs. So hopefully this helped out for you. And yeah, hopefully I gave you some insight into the different form factors, what they bring to the table. Both very good, both very powerful, top of the line, flagship level, basically in most every category. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please go down to the comments section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.